is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Time. I am your host, Jacob Carter, the Fantasy Guy, and today, you know what it is. It's Friday, which means we are back. We being Brandon and I, we are back to give you another week's edition of Meat on the 50, but very special edition, Wildcard edition. We are into the playoffs and we got super mega Wildcard Weekend ahead of us. 6 games spread across 3 days, culminating in the first ever Monday Night Football playoff game. It is going to be exciting. I cannot wait. We cannot wait, and I hope you guys cannot wait because the action is going to be off the charts, I promise. First and foremost, if you've been keeping up with the website, you would know that unfortunately, Brandon and I did record our final season grades. However, on my end, there is some major audio issues that I just can't really get around, so I think we're going to postpone it to either next week or the end of the season where we'll just go over it again. No harm, no foul. I mean, it happens. It is what it is, so not too worried about it. We will get the final grades out there for you guys all to see because, again, I want to bring you guys a very special presentation of that because, again, we want to talk about all the teams. We did talk about all the teams. We talked about all 32 teams, gave our breakdowns, our thoughts, our analysis, all of that good stuff, so I want to make sure that you guys are able to enjoy that. So be on the lookout for that, but however, if at any point during this video you like what you see, please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday, you're right there to consume the content because we are always dropping the knowledge, right? Brandon and I are dropping knowledge all season long. It's right at your feet. You just gotta look down, pick it up, shove it in the header, shake it around, and boom! Better fantasy player and a more knowledgeable football human being, right? Because that is what it's about. If you're not growing, you are dying. So always look for the opportunities to where you can expand your knowledge in anything that you do. So smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, just tap on that bell notification to stay up to date on all the latest content. And remember to visit our brand new website, fantasytimesports.info. Be sure to visit it, check it out, let us know what you think. It is our website. Everything that we talk about will be right there for you. Without further ado, let's get into it in another week's edition of Meat on the 50. Well, here we are. We are back to bring you another week of Meat on the 50 Wildcard Edition. Yes, we are into the playoffs. We are done with the regular season. As always, joining me, one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing this week? How you feeling about this week? How's everything going?
Everything's going good. I'm just happy that the 49ers sealed a date with the Cowboys. I think it's good for the NFL. It's a good old school rivalry to kind of bring back. There's nobody else I'd rather play in the first round, so I'm excited to get you these picks.
Yeah, we're going to break it all down because I am just like you. I am fired up. I am juiced. We got some good action ahead of us this week. However, we got one piece of business that we got to take care of before we get into that action, and that is seeing how we finished off the season. So let's put the overall season totals on the screen. All right. For yourself, sitting at 150, 05, and 111 and 6 on the guaranteed victories. For myself, 160, 95 and 1, 11 and 6 on the guaranteed victories. Let's find out how your year finished. So let's put it up on the screen. 9 and 7, 1 and 0 on that guaranteed victory, finishing it strong. Finishing strong, just like you started, going out winning, right? Chiefs handling business on the road. It was pretty close there. Surprisingly, it was pretty close there at the end. But overall, you got the job done. You feel pretty good? Feel pretty good that the Chiefs handled business, got it out of the way early?
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I mean, they almost blew it, but they were able to get it done.
I like it. Overall, for the season, you are going to finish at 159, 112, 1 and 1, 12 and 6 on the guaranteed victories. 159, 112-1, 12-6 on the guaranteed victories. How are you feeling now that it is all said and done?
Given all the things that happened this season and given the just surprises and blindsides by so many different teams, I feel like I'm sitting pretty.
I like it. Yeah, I thought you did a great job this season, especially, finishing. Most important thing is finishing with that positive record, which you did in both aspects. Looking at my week, and I'm just gonna chalk it up to I just was not laser focused, laser locked in. I saw the grass was greener. I saw the playoffs on the horizon. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do anything, blow this. Let's put it up on the screen. 7-9 to finish off my season. 0-1. No! The Colts. Oh, the Colts. Losing to, out of all teams, the abysmal Jacksonville Jaguars, giving you the overall lead for the guaranteed victories for the season. Well done. Well done indeed. Overall for the season, that puts me at 167, 104-1, 11-7 on the guaranteed victories. So you are taking home the crown of the guaranteed victories this season.
And
before we turn the page,
I'd like to thank my grandma.
There we go.
I would like to thank the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, you should thank them.
And that's all I have to thank. So
yeah, you should be thanking the Jacksonville Jaguars for that. Unbelievable. But before we turn the page, I want to look at some other overalls that I put together for us. So combined for the season, we went 326, 216, and 2. We had an overall winning percentage of 60%. That's what you want. You want a solid winning percentage. That is what we gave you. For the Thursday night primetime games, you went 10-8. I went 11-7. For the Sunday night football games, you went 10-8. I went 13-5. And then finally for the Monday night football games, you went, you guessed it, 10-8. And I went 12-6. So at the very least, everybody knows that you are consistent across the board when it comes to primetime games. Well done indeed. Well done overall. Solid first season. I'm happy that we did this. I'm happy that we're going to continue to do this. I had a lot of fun this season. I'm pretty sure you had a lot of fun this season too. So, but overall though, I have all the records for us put together on the Google Sheet, so make sure everybody checks that out once you're done with the video. But all of our records, I put together all of our overall records, so you can check all of those out. But at the very least, you can see that we bring business. We drop the hammer when it comes to these games, and we take it seriously. But just like a newspaper, we are done with last week's news. We are turning the page to this week's news, and do we have a doozy? Do we have a doozy on our hands? We have a mega wild card weekend in front of us. 6 games spread across 3 days of action, topped off with the first ever Monday night football game. Monday night playoff football game, I should say. So let's get into it. For everybody, starting on Saturday, for us, starting on Saturday, our first game, and of course it had to be the first game of the weekend. Leading us off, we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Cincinnati, to the jungle, to take on the 31-year playoff drought winless Cincinnati Bengals. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are able to get their first playoff victory in 31 years. I think that, making that coaching change, firing Marvin Lewis is what, having Zach Taylor, I just think it's going to definitely shift this franchise in the right direction. I think that, having that game at home with an elite quarterback and the best receiver in the league and also a top 3 running back in the NFL, because I think, my order is it goes Derrick Henry when he's healthy, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and then big step in Joe Mixon.
I like it.
I think that they are going to control the tempo of the game by being able to run. I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to stop the run game, and I don't think that there's going to be anybody in that secondary that is going to contain Lamar Chase. So, and I think that, you have T. Higgins, you have other receivers that can make big plays, and you have a better quarterback by far. I don't even think that one's close. I think Derek Carr's a good quarterback, but I think that Joe Burrow is on another level. I think being in the jungle and I think playing in the cold, I do think that you guys pull this one off 31-21.
Yeah, the two key questions going into that game on Saturday is, can the Bengals O-line stop the Raiders defensive line? And on the flip side, can the Raiders secondary muster up the strength and the talent to contain the cheetahs that the Bengals have for receivers? Because the biggest question is, can anybody defend Jamar Chase? And if you're going to double Jamar Chase, you better hope that you have great coverage on T. If you don't have great coverage there, then guess who else is going to beat you? Oh, that's Tyler Boyd. So your defense has to bring it. The Raiders defense has to come to play. They thought they had to come to play against the Chargers. You're going to have to come to play twice as much against the Cincinnati Bengals. And like you said, it's supposed to be 19 degrees that day. It's going to be cold. Hits are going to feel harder. The ground is going to feel harder. Everything is going to feel like daggers stabbing you 1,000 times. Can you get over that to win the game? We'll see. We shall see. But like you said, everything is set up for the Bengals here. Healthy, at home, haven't won a playoff game, have the tools to win a playoff game. All that really is in question is that defense going to step up to the plate and handle business against Derek Carr? So I'm going Cincinnati Bengals 35-17, handling business at home, and then going to shortly go on the road to what we'll see where. But
probably going to be Kansas City. But
we'll see. Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, well, which is going to be the storylines that this season has created are some of the best storylines that I've seen in a long time, right? I mean, if the Bengals do win, if the Kansas City Chiefs do win, boom, we got a Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals 2, right? And we got to end it now. They're going to be at Arrowhead. So again, all these storylines going into this season, and we're going to see it all play out. However, in round 1, I think that the Cincinnati Bengals finally get that elusive playoff win at home in front of those fans who are starving, who are thirsting for a playoff victory. Cincinnati Bengals 35-17. In our primetime game, in our night game, we got a division rivalry, a division matchup in the playoffs. We got the New England Patriots for the 3rd time this season taking on the Buffalo Bills. What do you got for me?
I honestly wish that Raider game would have been a tie game, because it really, I would have loved to see New England versus Cincinnati. I would have loved to see who would the Vegas Raiders would have played. The Chiefs. They
would have played who's the other team? They would have played Kansas City, and then the Chargers would have played the Bills.
Buffalo. I would have much rather have seen that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see New England versus Buffalo. It's just, we've seen it twice. It's boring. It's a lot of defense. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of San Antonio Spurs versus Dallas Mavericks. And it's just boring. So, but I think I'm going to give Buffalo the edge here. I just think Mac Jones isn't ready. I don't think that he's going to go to Buffalo and beat Josh Allen, who has playoff experience. And it would be another thing if Buffalo didn't have a good defense, but they do. So I am going to pick Buffalo in a low-scoring game. I think that they win this one 23-17.
Yeah, so I did check the weather before this game just to make sure that I was picking the right team, because if it's snowy weather, I got to be honest, that favors New England and Bill Belichick. 9 times out of 10. So, but it's not going to be snowing. It's just going to be cold. It'll be around 10 degrees. Hopefully that forecast stays around the same. Cold weather's cold weather. But when you add snow to the occasion, it makes it a totally different game. Snow completely benefits the New England Patriots and completely hurts the Buffalo Bills, so thankfully there won't be any snow. So with that being said, I'm going Buffalo Bills here in a shootout. I'm going 28-24, leaving it all on the line at home in front of those fans to get them to the next round. And what better way to start off your playoff run than beating your division rival that you had to beat to get here. So I like it. I'm going Buffalo Bills. I think Buffalo's biggest issue is still their running game. However, Devin Singletary, they've gotten him way more implemented in the offense and just actually doing stuff in the offense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the Buffalo Bills here, I got it taking it at home 28-24 in a close one. Moving on to Sunday, our first game up in the morning or early afternoon for some. We got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you got for me?
I got a guaranteed victory for you here.
Okay.
I do think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to come out and punch the Philadelphia Eagles in the mouth. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles belong in the playoffs, so I want nothing more than to see that. But I also think it's going to happen. I think that Philly might keep it close in the first part of the first quarter and then maybe a little bit in the second. But I think Tampa Bay stretches it out. Tom Brady gets comfortable and comes out firing. I do think that Tampa Bay wins this one 31-17.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very, very interesting game on Sunday to lead us off. Well, I'm going to go Tampa Bay here. I think it's 27-24. However, I'm going to say this now. It would not surprise me at all. It's going to surprise a lot, but it would not surprise me at all if Philadelphia went out there and shocked the world and upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first round. Again, it would not surprise me.
I would be absolutely shocked.
I know you would. I know you would. But I'm telling you, it would not shock me in the least if this happened.
Did you get? I just want to make sure that you've had an appointment with your doctor this year. Your brains, everything's good. Just making sure. Okay. I'm just checking on my fellow friend. I just want to make sure. I'm
just saying, don't be surprised. You heard it here first. That's what I'll say. You heard it here first.
Never said it. So if you're right, hey, I'm definitely giving you your credit.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I would just not be surprised if it happens. However, yes, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24 in a close one, in a close game at home, getting into that second round, and we'll see who they end up taking on. In our middle game, we got a classic upon classic upon classic matchup for you. We got the San Francisco 49ers traveling down to Arlington, to Jerry's World, to AT&T Stadium to take on the Dallas Cowboys. What do you got for me?
We are traveling to our third home because our first home is obviously Santa Clara. Our second home, I'm actually going to say this is our fourth home. Our first home is Santa Clara. Our second home is LA. Our third home is Arizona, and our fourth home is Dallas. Because you've seen it on TV before, the seats of red in Dallas.
Yeah, it's true.
49ers fans.
They're going to be out. They're going to be out in droves. That's for sure.
So this is my thing. If the ship is going to sink, then I'm going to sink with it. But I do think that somehow, some way, the 49ers are not going to be bounced out in the first round. I think that the fact that every single time, our last 4 playoff appearances, we've either made it to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. I think that speaks volume. I think this is a perfect game set up for the 49ers to win. Dallas, like I said, 6-0 against their own opponents, 6-5 against the rest of the league. When they played Carolina, who is a very physical NFC West team, they got punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
And that was just 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to say this. I do think that San Francisco is able to pull this one off. I think the 49ers win this one in a close one in the fourth quarter. I think they win 31-27.
Again, this would be another game where I would not be shocked whatsoever if the 49ers pulled it off. However, I'm going to go with Dallas on this one. I think that Dallas defense is something else. I'm curious to see how Jimmy does against them. The Rams are a different team than the Dallas Cowboys. The Niners have the Rams number. The Niners haven't played the Cowboys in the playoffs in a very, very long time. So I'll be curious to see what happens here. I think Dallas does it though, but again, this is going to be close. I got 35-32, and I guess you're right. I guess no matter what, I didn't even think of this until you said it, but I guess Jimmy G does always keep them into the game because I have them keeping him into the game to the very last second here. So I got 35-32 Dallas Cowboys victory at home. However, again, it would not surprise me in the least if the San Francisco 49ers here go on the road and handle business. The Niners are a good team. They're a good team that just saw some unfortunate events happen throughout the season, which basically limited their ceiling, I should say. So we'll see. I mean, again, this game is going to be so good. This game is going to be so good, and I'm shocked. I am shocked that CBS somehow got this game. I am shocked that Romo and Nance got this game away from Buck and Aikman. Blows my mind that they were able to do that. But, I've heard enough of Troy. I know how he feels about the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see how Tony Romo feels about the Dallas Cowboys. Why are Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks become radio announcers? What is this? I just realized that. Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Tony Romo, Dallas Cowboy quarterback. How many Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks become freaking radio personalities? What is going on?
Well, then we had Jason Witten, who was awful. And
Jason Witten was a radio personality.
And let me take the time to say this to everybody who's watching. I respect this guy as a player. I respect him as a player. He's a good player. He's a Super Bowl champion. By far the worst announcer that I have ever seen in NFL football history, Aqib Talib. Literally is god awful. When I watch him play, I'm watching and I'm listening to him talk, I don't even know what to say. Why would you get him on there? It's like he pauses and just says what he's thinking in his mind. It's just like he's not even. It's like he's not even an announcer. It's like he's just talking over the game and he's watching it himself. Like he's watching it by himself. He's announcing it to nobody. It's terrible. Aqib Talib, you need to be fired. You're the worst announcer I have ever seen. And I was watching it, and this goes to show, I was watching, my grandma never says anything really. The games are on, she watches them. I said, man, this announcer, he's really bad. She goes, oh yeah, he's awful. He was on one of the games last week. He's terrible. And she's never said anything. She just doesn't bat an eye. She just listens to me. But it doesn't really say anything. But when my grandma agrees that Aqib Talib's got to go, I'm sure Jacob Cutler believes that Aqib Talib has got to go.
Yeah, Aqib Talib is an interesting one. I'm curious to see who. I wonder if he was paired up with his normal guy, or if they did kind of what they did to Romo. Huh?
He's usually paired up with Gus Johnson.
Yeah. So was he with Gus?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, he's a hit or miss. He's a hit or miss for me. He's
garbage.
He's one of those where he does say some ridiculous things. I like his takes on cornerbacks and defensive coverage.
He talks. It's the
he talks. Yeah, I agree. Though it just his broadcasting articulation and on pronunciation and things like that, they could use some work. They could definitely use some work
between saying stuff and it'd be like he gets the ball and man, that was a good play. It's like, what are you saying? I am lost. I would rather mute it.
I'll say this. He would not be my first choice for an announcer partner. He would not be my first choice. But back to what we were originally talking about. Dallas Cowboys handling business 35-32 at home. Our final game, our primetime game.
Man, oh man.
Our primetime game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for me?
I got Kansas City absolutely slaughtering the Pittsburgh Steelers and just finally sending Big Ben off this last hurrah. Good for you. You made the playoffs in the last season. It's going to be weird not seeing Big Ben. Honestly, I've ever since middle school or almost elementary school, I've seen Big Ben. Yeah, this guy is he's tough, and he's a tough son of a you-know-what. And he is definitely has a place in my heart just because, growing up, all the quarterbacks do, even though you may not like him, you got to respect him. And Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, all these quarterbacks that you watched growing up, it's weird not seeing them there anymore.
Yep.
And so, even though I wasn't a big Dirk fan, when he left, there's something different about the game when these players leave. So, for some reason, when I think of Ben Roethlisberger, I think of the Sunday Night Football song. I don't know why. I feel like the Steelers have had more Sunday Night Football games than like anybody.
He could have.
Yeah, but they don't have a chance here. Not a chance in hell. I think Kansas City beats them 41-17.
Woo! Big blowout. Expecting a big blowout. This pains me to say, but I wish this was going to be Big Ben's last week. I don't think it is.
Oh my God.
I don't think it is, my friend.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta call the neurosurgeon. I gotta call the neuro doctor. I gotta make sure that you didn't.
I don't think it is, my friend. I think they do it somehow, some way. This team just lingers. They just linger and they just want to be around the action. And they're just like, oh, yeah, let me get my hands in the little action here. No. But I hate to say it, I don't think it's Ben's last game. I think they shocked the world, and I think they upset Kansas City at home, 21-17. I think the Kansas City defense, what I saw last week and what I saw against the Bengals, they are not good. The Kansas City defense is not good, and they are so beatable. It's just, I just have to.
Pittsburgh gonna stop Mahomes? I can understand
that defense. I mean, you got T.J. Watt. He set the individual sack record. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I thought he tied it with 18 games.
Oh, I think you're right. They denied the appeal. You're right. They did tie it. He did not break it. You're right. I just got this inkling. And I don't think Pittsburgh is going away. I think Kansas City is very beatable. I think Pat Mahomes has been exposed, like you said, that little backyard football gimmick stuff that they like to do. It's not really working, right? He can't run to the other side of the field and then throw the ball all the way to the other side of the field anymore. People are finally realizing, hey, let's just step in front of that ball and intercept it. So it's going to take a lot. I think it's going to take a lot for this team. I mean, this defense is solid. This defense is good. And anything can happen with the Steelers. That's the weird. Like, the Steelers are like a diet version of like Tom Brady. Like, they just are. They're not as good, but for whatever reason, they somehow, some way, just find a way to either win games, linger around games, not go away. Then that's the weird part. I thought I was done with them. I thought I was done with the Steelers. I was celebrating in my mind that I did not have to look at the Steelers logo and that stupid black and yellow and that dumb towel and that dumb logo and frickin' Ben. I thought I was done with all of it. We're not done. We're not. Pittsburgh Steelers shocked the world. 21-17, handling business on the road. And our last game up on Monday night, we got another division clash, We're going to see another division clash for the third time. We got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to SoFi to take on the Los Angeles Rams. What do you got for me?
I'm going to pick Arizona here. I'm just going to pick Arizona. I think that once Sean McVay ran out onto that field, when they were up 17-0, they got that touchdown that they threw, I think, to Higbee, and they went up 17-0. We outscored them 27-7. I think that for something's telling me, my intuition's telling me, because I originally was going to pick the Rams, that the Cardinals are going to pull this off. I think they're going to win this one 24-21. And I think that Sean McVay is going to be on the hot seat with all these weapons after they get bounced in the first round again.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Arizona here in a close one, 24-21.
I like it. I'm right there with you. I'm going Arizona. I think they do it again. They split the season series. I think Arizona takes control of that season series in a 32-24 guaranteed victory. I am rolling with the Cardinals this week. I think they get it done. They've had all this crap happen to them. I think they finally are able to pull it together. They looked bad against Seattle, but so did the Los Angeles Rams, so against the Niners. So we'll see what happens on Monday night, our first ever Monday night playoff game, which should be exciting. But I got the Arizona Cardinals in a guaranteed victory, 32-24 over the Los Angeles Rams. And that will do it for this week's edition of Meat on the 50, our wild card edition. Be on the lookout for our divisional edition next week. But as always, you know what it is. Thank you guys so much for taking the time for watching our episodes. Thank you guys so much for investing your time in our episodes. If you're new here, welcome. We hope to see you again. We're not done. We're not done by a long shot. Just because the NFL season ends doesn't mean that fantasy time ends. So we're gonna have content for you all year round. And who knows? Brandon might always, sometimes, maybe, he will pop in for some videos here that we are going to create. So always be on the lookout for that. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Yeah, stay tuned because we have still a lot of football left to play. We got, like Jake said, we got the divisional one next week. Then we got the conference ones. The conference video for the conference championships, that's going to be a big one because down to 4 teams at that point. Each week, I always look at it this way in any form of playoffs. Each week, it just gets more exciting. Next week, the matchups are going to be even more exciting to talk about. We'll probably have more to get into next week after what we saw this weekend. But we got the divisional, we got the conference, and then we got the Pro Bowl pick. I'm just kidding. Super Bowl coming up, and so we're going to be here all through the month of January and all through February, so we'll be here.
I'm excited, and I am excited to talk about every single one of these games with you. It's going down. Playoffs are here. We have made it.
Enjoy the game, Jake. That's amazing. You're going to the game. Safe travels. Stay warm.
Thank you.
And
I will be there. I will be at that game. It's going to be cold. Whew, but we're going to be talking. Oh, you bet your sweet tuchus we're going to be talking during that game. If at any point during our video, if you like what you saw, do us a favor, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday. Come on, what is this, a rookie mistake? And Friday, you're right there to consume the content because we're dropping knowledge all season long. And if you haven't figured it out yet, watch this video because we're dropping knowledge all season long, right? It's right at your feet. You got to look down, pick it up, shove it in the head of your shake it around, and boom, better fantasy player and a more knowledgeable football human being, right? Because that is what it's about. If you're not growing, you are dying. So always look for the opportunities to become more knowledgeable in anything that you do, right? If you saw the Wednesday video, you know that we have launched our brand new website. Yeah, we got a website now, fantasytimesports.info. Boom, right there, fantasytimesports.info. Check it out for all the latest updates on everything that we got going on. Some people don't have Facebook, some people don't have Twitter. I nipped that in the butt for you, so we got a website for you guys, fantasytimesports.info. All of everything is there. That's right, all of everything. I said it. It's there. Check it out. If you want more Fantasy Time, follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Time 2021. Follow us on Facebook at The Fantasy Guy 2021. And then follow us right here on YouTube at Fantasy Time 2021. The link for the Google Sheet, the link for the Google Sheet will be down in the description. So if you want to recap on everything that we talked about today, and it was a pretty fast video. If you want to recap on everything that we talked about today, just click on that link, download it, memorize it, internalize it. It's all there for you. That will do it for this week's edition of Meet on the 50, our wildcard edition. This episode of Fantasy Time, you know who he is. That's one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. I am your host, Jacob Cobb, the Fantasy Guy. And until next Friday, we will see you. Brandon and Jake are out.